Welcome to art class. Today is part 3 of our Portraits of Empowerment, in which we're going to put some finishing touches on our artwork and make our portraits complete. I'll share my screen and we'll begin. Today we're going to go ahead and dive right into the work. One common issue that happens with students' backgrounds is sometimes they'll end up with some large spaces of just background that needs to be filled, and I wanted to offer you a strategy to approach that. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to about 200%. And I don't have massive spaces, but I do have some large spaces that are just showing a lot of that background yellow. And I don't want them to be so prominent. Well, the good news is that you don't have to draw anything new. The way we're going to approach that is we're going to take a piece of our pattern, we're going to duplicate it. And then we're just going to grab some pieces and make them smaller and start to fill in that space, almost like we're creating a new little pattern piece. I'm going to create one pattern in this space that I can then repeat into all of the other spaces. The first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and make this smaller, much smaller. And I'm going to start building into this space right here. I'm going to annotate that. So this space, I want to fill it. So I'm going to do it once and then I can repeat it for all of my patterns. All right. I'm going to go ahead and select this. I'm going to go ahead and go to arrange and ungroup because it's going to make it easier to grab some of these individual pieces. Like I've got the circle here that I could use somewhere. For my spaces, I'm going to go ahead and do transparent borders just so that the circles that I put back in here will not be as obvious. Let's see how I feel about some of those. Beautiful. I'm going to grab this feather here. I'm going to maybe rotate my feather to make it a little bit different from the background. And this is also an opportunity to maybe play around with your color. I wouldn't add too many, I probably wouldn't start adding new colors, but I may want to add lighter versions. So I might do a lighter one. So I like that a lot. It might be too light. Let's go one darker. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. This circle, I think I want to be behind. I use control down. Yeah, I'm liking that. And I think I do want to incorporate this piece again. Maybe I will flip it. Ooh, handy dandy format options. Flip it. Let's see how we can incorporate that. Yeah, it's okay if it goes on top of my pattern a little bit. My annotations don't like to be moved. All right, let's check that out. I think these circles should be smaller. Just continuing to play around with my pattern until I'm happy with it. I'm going to get rid of my annotation because it's bugging me every time I move my screen. All right, let's grab these little section of flowers here. I have an idea. Well, what if I'm going to do the same thing where I make transparent borders so that they're just a little bit more subtle. Let's flip it. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Maybe pair it up with that circle there. This feather, I feel like feels weird. I think we should rotate it some more. Help fill this space. Okay, I like that. How does this look? And this fills by itself. Let's go transparent maybe. I don't know if I like this at all. Let's delete that. Let's repeat this one. I can take any of these pattern pieces and just repeat them. I'm going to rotate it. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, I feel like that's decent. Should I make these a lighter color? Do I like that? I do actually. I think I'm gonna leave one dark, one light. So again, all I did was I took pieces from my original patterns and I ungrouped it and just stole some pieces. So I need to, I need to select all of these. I'm gonna hold shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, Control Alt G to group. If you forgot how to group, it's Control Alt G. Can you see that? No, let me move my annotation real quick. Control Alt G is group. It's like my favorite. So they're grouped now, which means I get to do my whole duplicate and place trick. So, oops, I gotta make sure I'm on annotate. Anytime I am on annotate and I do that, it pulls up a weird screen. Hopefully you can't see this. Sorry. Okay, try again. Okay, I have it selected. And now I can move it over. And I'm doing my best to kind of line it up how this one was. Does it look good? Yeah, it looks good. And I'm gonna fill in all my spaces now. And this is just a great trick. Like the symbolism hasn't changed. I didn't have to do any new work beyond like rotating and rotating and moving some things. Okay, let's go to this one. Duplicate. It's gonna be over here somewhere. I don't know. It still feels like there's a space there. I'm just gonna put the pattern there. It feels like it should go there. Beautiful. Where else? I got these spaces. It repeats here. Oh, that's kind of like a different space. I don't know if I'm gonna need anything there. That's what I'm gonna just fill in these. I don't know, they look like little L-shaped spaces to me. Control D to duplicate and just repeat it going across. Notice I'm not dragging them to where they're supposed to go. I find it easier and I generally get it lined up better if I only use my my keys. I think technically there would be some right there. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Control D. That's really cute. I'm digging this. See, how does that line up? About right there? Yeah. Again, I'm not stressed about it going off the page, not at all. Okay. And I should have one more right there. Right there? Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so let's zoom out and take a look at that. So you can see that just really added a layer of complexity and really helped fill in my spaces whilst just still using the same imagery. And I really enjoy how it feels like it's really filled in now. Okay, so take some time today, analyze your background. Do you have any big spaces that are just drawing your attention too much? How can you fill them in and add some complexity to your work? Because we did more patterns, you'll notice that they're on top of Amanda. So I'm going to click on Amanda. I'm going to go arrange, order, bring to front. Huzzah, Amanda's on front again. Okay. So one thing, I want us to focus on this picture here for this example. One thing that Kehinde Wiley does in his artwork, which is genius, is he takes these patterns from the background and he layers them on top of the portrait, which does a couple of things. First, it's just beautiful. But secondly, and more importantly, it really makes the portrait and the person in that portrait feel a part of that environment that he created. It really makes them feel a part of the background. So like right now, she's on a background, but I want her to feel a part of it. So this is like gonna be, again, it's this easiest thing. I'm gonna take the pattern, I'm gonna duplicate it, and then I'm just gonna line it right back up on top. And now part of that pattern is now on top of her. Gorgeous. Let's try one over here. Oops. I try to click here, but it's actually her. So I'm going to click a different one. I'm just going to line it back up. And I didn't put a lot on top of her. Let's duplicate that again. This one I'm going to line up over here. So literally duplicate the pattern, line it back up so that it fits perfectly on top. And you can see now she's like really a part of this pattern. If it starts to feel like too much, you can come in here and delete parts of the pattern. Like I felt like this like flower was like hiding the fact that she's wearing this beautiful dress. So I am deleting part of that. I also am now not loving this stem or that one circle. So you can also go in and delete. I feel like that's a little bit more successful. And I want something maybe on her shoulder here. Let me click on this one, duplicate. I don't like to drag things around because you can't see it while you're dragging it. That's why I generally prefer to use the arrow keys. Yeah. Ooh, I like this feather on her. That's lovely. And then I do have those like smaller patterns, so maybe I want to duplicate one of those. And generally speaking, you want it to match up, but you can have a little bit of artistic license, like maybe I want like nobody will know that doesn't really match. That's nice. I like that. I'm gonna duplicate that one again. I feel like it could also go down here. And it goes off the bottom of the page. So no one will know that like it didn't line up perfectly. It'll be okay. However, if right here, I can see where it matches or does not match the pattern. And that just really makes her feel like she's in that background. That's so beautiful. Sometimes I like to go to file, print, setting, and preview, because it brings up the artwork without anything else. And this is a great way to analyze your work. You can see here, yeah, you can see things go off the page and that looks really nice. I don't know why it's so zoomed in. It really, I want to zoom out, please. No, zoom out. Why is it so big? I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can just like see the artwork as a whole. Okay, that I went too far. There we go. And this just really helps me look at the artwork as a whole. And I feel pretty happy about this. I feel like my background feels very full and colorful. I feel like the colors really match her. I am tempted to try maybe a different background yellow because she's it's almost like camouflage now. Oh, I clicked on print, but I didn't mean to. I meant to close preview. Oh, cancel. I don't actually want to print it. I'm not at a color printer. Okay, I'm going to close the preview. All right, let's see if I can click on this background color. My toolbar is tiny. I'm also going to make it bigger. Okay. So maybe actually darker is the way to go. Oh yeah, now that yellow pops a little bit more. I really enjoy that. Actually, that was it. I found it. First go. So yeah, obviously you don't want to try and change the colors of all your individual pieces, but your background color, you can tweak it a bit. If you're like reflecting, you're like, it doesn't quite work for me. And that is it. That is your portrait of empowerment. I believe that I've created a portrait of the person that I admire, and I feel like I've used some really great symbolism to help represent who Amanda Gorman is as a person and as a poet. And I cannot wait to see how your final artwork comes out. Just to recap, we went in and we created some smaller patterns to go into our spaces. We duplicated our pattern to create this overlapping on top of the subject. And if need be, we tweaked our background color to find the perfect match for our artwork. And that's it. I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you for coming to art class, and I can't wait to see you for our next project. Bye, guys.